everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be my palette roundup for the palettes that I've tried this month. Not all of these are brand new, but they're ones that I hadn't tried yet, so I used them for the first time. So I'm going to go through them. If that sounds interesting, stick around. And I think that's all I have. Make sure you subscribe. Again, I'm wearing my Lost Boys shirt from Graveyard Goods. I will link them down below. If you are interested in them, you're going to want to follow them on Instagram because they do put out like what their launches are going to be, what the days and times are, pictures of what's going to be in the collection. But they only do micro launches. So like this shirt's not available anymore. They'll do another Lost Boys release probably next year. In 6 months. I don't know how often. I've just recently started purchasing from them, so I don't know the frequency that they repeat things. So, but if you're interested, I will leave their website down below. And again, follow them on Instagram. And yeah, we're gonna jump into the palettes that I've used. Okay. I just got done filming my video with this, so we'll talk about this one first. So there is going to be a whole in-depth video on the Urban Myth palette if you want to check it out. I do live swatch it. I do this look on camera, and I give you more in-depth opinions, but I love the shade names. We have Mothman, Crop Circle, Loch Ness, Chupacabra, Bigfoot, Bloody Mary, Paranormal, Bermuda Triangle, Boogeyman, and Area 51. And it's got really, really cute packaging. This is my first palette from Black Moon Cosmetics. I've been wanting to try them for years, and this one just has my name written all over it. So even if I hated this palette, I would still keep it for the packaging, but so far it's been fine. The blue and the purple, I have to work a little bit to build them up, but like Bigfoot, super pigmented, Mothman's really nice shade. I haven't had really any issues with the shimmer. The silver gave me a little trouble today, but I didn't have any trouble when I used it the first time, but this is only the second time. There are some different like shimmer formulas. These two are more flaky, like metallics. These are duochromes almost, and then this is just a standard shimmer. It's a dark shimmer. So other than that, so far I've been liking it. I do want to play around with it more, and again, I love the packaging. There we go. Then you can see a little better with, and I will try and leave the websites for these down below. Can't guarantee that, but if I forget, leave me a comment if you're interested in any of these palettes, and I will put them in the description. I finally used my Venus too. I've had all of these little Venus palettes for a while. I've used Immortalis, and I've used 1 and 3, but I hadn't used 2 yet. And this one's obviously the grungy fall color story. I like it. There isn't really a true shimmer. Pigeon and Fly have a little bit of a duochromy shift, but they're not like a metallic shimmer. Lime Crime has a really weird shimmer formula in some of their palettes. Like I have the Venus XL, and there's not really a shimmer in there. There's satins and there's mattes. I wouldn't say that there's a true metallic shimmer in that palette at all. Some of the small Venus ones do. My Immortalis has 2 really, really metallic-y shimmers. So their shimmer formula isn't my favorite, but the time that I did use this, I did like it. So Lime Crime is definitely one that I've used some, but not enough. I like their formula. Like I said, their shimmers are hit and miss for me, but I have a lot of palettes, so that's not necessarily a big deal. And I have single like liquid glitters and things that I can use. So I'm like, I was almost going to declutter my big palette, and I was like, I have glitter and shimmer. Like, that's stupid. So definitely want to use this more. I do like grungy color stories like this, so I'm glad I pulled this out. And then the other one that I have with it is the Immortalis, because that's also a darker, grungy, smoky palette, and I do really like that palette. Next, we have Hocus Pocus. I was going to do a standalone video on this, and I didn't really see the point, because by the time I got my palette, I mean, you couldn't buy it, so it's not like one of those things where I would really only be doing looks with it if people ask. So if anybody has this and they want to see me do like 3 looks, I would be happy to do that, but I didn't really feel it necessary to do a review video on it. There were plenty of PR, like people that got in PR, like review videos before it launched. The launch of this was a debacle, like a cluster, like it was horrible. Here's the palette. I do like this palette. ColourPop palettes are hit and miss for me. I have a love-hate relationship. Their Wench is a really pretty brow bone inner corner shade. If you do want this palette, there are people selling it on Poshmark, but just be aware the prices are all over the place. Some people have it relatively reasonably priced, and then there's people that are trying to sell it for $50, $60. So if you want it, it's just going to depend on how much you want to spend on it. The packaging's really cute. You have the sisters. I had heard people complain that they didn't feel like the color story really fit. But if you look at their costumes, I feel like this is a sister, this is a sister, and this is a sister. And they're very like two shadow looks. And then you've got transitions. ColourPop always throws in a bunch of neutrals. There is a black in here, but it's a sequence shade, so it has glitter in it. Their blacks in the Blowing Smoke palette are really good, and the sequence shade in that is actually more pigmented than the matte. The sequence shades don't bother me. Some people don't like them because like Full Moon is a sequence. This Brown Coven is a sequence. Come Little Children is a sequence, and then you have shimmers, and there is one pressed glitter, which I have used this a little bit. I think I used it with the green. When I did the green shimmer on my lid, I put a little bit of the gold. And so this, I don't know that I'm ever going to use pressed glitter completely all over my lid, but I don't mind doing a little bit. I wear contacts, and I have this phobia of glitter getting lodged in my eye. So I used to do pressed glitter all over. I don't anymore, but that's the only reason. I do like this palette. I think it's cute. I did end up getting rid of my Disney Villains. I sent it to my friend Wendy. We did a makeup swap and she wanted it. I only used it once. I kind of miss it. I have thought about repurchasing it, but that's kind of stupid because I only used it once or twice and I didn't really. I feel like the Villain palette you couldn't get a complete look out of because there was only like 4 mattes. And the rest were shimmers, and the mattes I felt like were kind of weird that they chose. This, at least you can get complete looks out of it, and it's a very pretty fall color story. Now, with that being said, I did order It's Freaking Bats palette from Strobe, which that sold out in like a minute, but they are doing restocks on that. Like it's on pre-order indefinitely until the demand goes away, so you can get that palette. They have an Arcane palette from Strobe that has a very similar color vibe to this palette. So I ordered that also. It's one I've been looking at for a while, and I thought I would do a comparison because that one is not limited edition. So if you were interested in this palette for the color story, that I think might be a good alternative. So that video is coming. So I do plan on doing another video with this, but not by itself, unless people request it. I feel like that was a very long, like drawn out thing, and I tried to go through it quickly because I feel like I'm getting long-winded. But next we have Moonspell. I bought this when it was on sale. I don't know if this is still available. This is Manny MUA's brand. This was his Halloween launch last year, and so it looks like a spell book. Obviously, it's very, very cute. Even the back is cute. Looks like a book. And then inside, like they're all witch names from pop culture. So you've got Fiona, Nancy, Marnie, Bonnie, Hermione, Sabrina, Phoebe, Piper, Prue. Did he do Paige? Paige was the sister that came. Oh, there is a Paige. Paige, Phoebe, Piper, and Prue are on the top. So I think I did a green. I don't remember. Yeah, I did. I used Marnie and Bonnie, and then I did a little bit of Paige and Phoebe on the lower lash and did a green and purple combination. This was my first time using this palette. So this was the only time that I've used any of his palettes. I have this one, Life's a Drag, and the Strawberry Dream, and I haven't used either of those. So this was my first time trying his brand finally, and then using this palette. I really like the color story of this, and the formula is good. So I kept it in the sleeve just because it's pretty. But so yeah, I'm going to use this more. This is another, like, these are like fall-ish, winter-ish color stories. So I have them sitting out on top of my makeup, so I will continue to use them until we get more so into like Christmas and I start doing Christmas holiday looks. Makeup palettes aren't necessarily seasonal. Like you can use the Hocus Pocus one all year, but I do have certain color stories that I gravitate to more at certain times of the year, if that makes sense. Like this looks like a summer palette. I got this. This is the Violet Voss Flamingo palette, but I did an orange look because I feel like you can get some pretty fall. There is a black in here, and I used Sandals. I used one of these shades. It doesn't even look like I dipped Popsicle. So I used Sandal and Popsicle. I don't think I used the black. I just did a pretty easy orange look. And then I used Tidal Wave and Flip Flop. And I think that was it. And it turned out like pretty. So depending on the shades, like this is obviously more summer, like spring color story, but just sticking to the oranges. I did a pretty orange look the other day for work. I bought this. I had a Violet Voss palette that was all like neutrals, and it was a very similar color story to my original Pumpkin Spice palette. So I ended up giving it to my friend Lauren. And so this is one that I'd been wanting just because I do like more colorful shadows. So this will hopefully get more use than that other one did, just because when I wanted those colors, I went with my Pumpkin Spice palette because I like it so much. So yeah, so those are all the palettes that I have tried thus far. I have a few more sitting out that I want to use. I did get one of the Too Faced holiday palettes. I got the one with the like Arctic Fox on it. I decided just to get one. There are 3 pressed glitters, but if I am able to use a little bit on the lid, then I will get some use out of them, because I was kind of upset. I didn't realize there was pressed glitters in that palette. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, thank you guys so much. So those were all the palettes that I've tried this far. I'm going to try and do this every month just because I have a decent amount of palettes that I use that are brand new, and this might be a fun little video. I've seen other people do this on their channel. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this video. Let me know what you thought of the palettes that I've tried this far. And yeah, thank you so much. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and hopefully I will see you all in another video very soon. Bye everybody.